I would never like. I don't want to. That's the thing. I want this show to always remain free, and the whole idea is, and I'm a greedy bastard. Like I said, I'm a bit greedy. Everybody's greedy, right? The difference is some people have more to work with than others. I choose to be. If I'm going to be greedy, I'm going to try my best to have more to work with. But I still want to not be greedy. So I think you could be both. I think you could be greedy in this life, and you can also be giving. Um, you could be selfish and also be selfless. You know what I mean? Because if you're purely selfless, you don't, and you're not selfish, because you have to focus on yourself at some point. So I think that we live in a world where we need to stop thinking this or this and start thinking this and this. So, for example, most people will say, like I just did the example, you either be selfish or selfless. Oh, nope. I believe in the exact opposite. I believe in both. See, people in poor spirit will believe that it's always a choice between the two and you can't have both. You can have anything you really want. Maybe not everything, but most things, right? So if you want to be selfish, you could be selfish, and guess what? You could be selfless at the same, maybe not the exact same time, but you could be both. The problem is there is a duality in life. You could be both things that you want to be, even if they seem contradictory. You could be selfish and you could be selfless. That's like one of the big things I promote on this channel. What's another duality that people think can't exist? Let's see. That's one of my favorite ones to say. I can't really think of any others. It's like the big one that comes to my mind is the selfish and selfless comparison. You could be both. You could do both. But yeah, basically you could be rich and you could be giving, You can have fun and you could do good work, for example. All those leaves behind me. But yeah, for example, like, most people say you can't have fun and do good work. But then there's people who say, no, you can do good work and also have fun at the same time. Maybe not at the exact same time, but you can occasionally just like enjoy the process. So I think that you need to have, instead of an X or Y policy in your life, you need to have an X and Y policy. I think is the real policy that people, I've been guilty of saying X or Y. I've done that in my life. I've been a hypocrite on that. But a lot of the times I try my best to make sure it's an X and a Y situation. For instance, I could be selfish and I could be selfless. I could be rich and I could be giving. You know what I'm saying? So there's dualities in life, and not everything is as contradictory as it may seem. And that's a big deal. So, let's see here. What else we got? Feels good to do the show out in nature, though. I'm going to do some live streaming tonight for sure. At least I'm going to try to. Gabe Itch says, how much is 50 NOK in USD? So it comes out to about $4.97 per 50 NOK. So that's not bad. And I appreciate Martin for even giving me even a little bit of super chat money. I think that's really cool of him to do that. It's very kind. But yeah, and anybody who wants to super chat, obviously. But I think a channel membership, I feel, would be better to do than requesting. I don't like requesting too many super chats from people. If people want to give me super chats, I'm always grateful for it. But at the same time, like I would prefer, if I'm going to have some exclusive content, and when I say some, I mean some. I don't want to do a lot of exclusive content. I prefer to do most of my content right there in front of you guys. Gabe Itch says, I just know sometimes they don't know that's it. And it's 3C is, yeah. I think it just depends on the, what's the term, the exchange rate between the NOK and the USD. That's in my mind at least. Man, Bitcoin, is it crashing even further? I hope Bitcoin, I bet against, because I bet against Bitcoin so heavily, especially on these stupid bull runs. My portfolio jumped like crazy. The value of my portfolio went to the bloody moon. As it used. But I also bet against, like I always say, I bet against Bitcoin because it's the right thing to do.